Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it's yours truly, Carcino here. Uh, let's talk about this. First of all, I want you to calm down. Doesn't mean Cade is leaving right now. He's packing his bag. That's not what's happening. Remember, I told you earlier, this probably a few months ago, been telling you, dropping hints. I had news that I had to wait to the end of the season to tell all of you. And y'all kept wondering what this news was about. Well, here's the news. It's not what y'all think. Okay? It's not what you think it is. K's not leaving tomorrow. He's not leaving next season. Okay, he's playing the whole season with the Pistons. Don't, but I'm telling y'all, it's what's happening in development. People, when they make decisions, it's 2-3 years away. Like, remember when I told you they was trying to make a move for Luka, then boom, it happened. Just years later. Exactly. Now, here's what happened. And I want you guys to see it and you can go from there. But this is what transpired. During the All-Star break, that sounds random. Well, maybe if you hear me talk, then maybe you won't sound so random to you. During the All-Star weekend, right? Steve Ballmer is sitting right there watching the game. And throughout the weekend, he sat down and talked and is very good friends with Cade Cunningham's agent, who is Jeff Schwarz. Cade Cunningham in Detroit brought home the trophy with Jalen Duren, and Cade Cunningham was the best performers pretty much from the team, winning the championship with their coach. Ballmer is looking for the future of the Los Angeles Clippers, and he's feeling by the age of 27, Cade Cunningham is going to be available and he can get him. And he's willing to pay $500+ million just to acquire him. He knows he can build his team around Cade Cunningham. What you call tampering, it's not really tampering because he didn't really do anything yet. You haven't seen Ballmer do anything. You don't even know this is happening until you're hearing it from me. But Ballmer saw them at the All-Star game, but he's already had his mind and his eye on Cade Cunningham, who's 3 years out or whatever. He doesn't care. He knows what he wants. Ballmer will pay top dollar for Cade Cunningham. He wants Cade Cunningham. Now, here's the problem. That the dynamic he's going to run into is that Cade is already signed to a deal. He's got great sponsorships already. Like, he just signed with Ford Motor Company. He got a $90 million deal with Nike. He's got his own signature colorway shoes. So, he's one of the top earners. Like, he's making like $50 million a year next year. Like, he's gonna make crazy money. So can you imagine if Ballmer signs him? He's gonna be making like $60 million a year. So he's gonna be making close to like $500 million by then. It's crazy. And Ballmer has no care about paying him because he's saying, I can build around this guy. This Cade Cunningham guy is the future. He sees it. And he like, I need to have that guy. Plus, you guys don't know about who's his agent. Now, Ballmer and the agent are quite close. Jeff Schwarz. And he's quietly one of the most powerful men in the whole industry, really, as far as the game. He stood up to LeBron. This is why Rich Paul couldn't get Cade Cunningham. He tried, but they didn't have the reach that XL Sports have. And with the lawsuit that they have in place with against Rich Paul for poaching their talent, that they couldn't go after Cade Cunningham. You know, he wasn't going for the banana in the tailpipe, in other words. So,
might be the most powerful man in the NBA, yet you've probably never heard of him. Meet Jeff Schwarz. He quietly controls billions of dollars in NBA contracts and represents some of the biggest players in the league. It all starts in the early 90s when he was a young lawyer working at IMG, representing young tennis players. This is where he learned to negotiate and how to build leverage in deals. Then in 2002, he noticed the NBA was changing. They had more money coming in, the league was gaining momentum, and power was quietly shifting behind the scenes. And see XL Sports Management. But here's what made Jeff different from all the other agents. He didn't just go after stars. He was trying to build a portfolio of players. He went after stars, starters, role players, bench depth, entire rosters all under one roof. And that, over time, gave him ultimate leverage. Because teams didn't just negotiate with Jeff once, they negotiate with him every offseason. And that strategy turned XL into a giant. By 2025, XL Sports Management was ranked the third most valuable sports agency in the world, not just in basketball, across all sports. At any moment, XL represents $2 to $3 billion in active NBA contracts. That portfolio gives him leverage that most agents never touch. While other agents make headlines signing stars, Jeff built infrastructure, trust, volume, and long-term relationships. Now, he still has a ton of big names like Nikola Jokic, Cade Cunningham, and Russell Westbrook, but that's not where his real power comes from. His power comes from depth, from controlling entire parts of the league, not just headlines. And that's why, even without the spotlight, Jeff Schwarz might be the most powerful man in the NBA.
Now, and because he represents Cade, and he likes to put his talent together and build, and he's got a good rapport with the Los Angeles Clippers, just like he does with the Detroit Pistons. He does not mind. Right. Now, thank you, Legit Killer. Now, once again, I have to remind the people who coming in, this is not about him leaving today. I'm just saying that the man met with Ballmer during the All-Star weekend. He met with Sports, XL Sports. He's met with a lot of people. He raved about Cade Cunningham when Cade is available. But Ballmer is not going to wait till 2030. He's going to wait till Cade is – the Pistons have to pay him $57 million a year. And if the Pistons are not competitive enough, he's going to see if Cade is unhappy with what is happening in Detroit in the next 2-3 years. Well, actually 2 years, actually, because Cade is going to be a free agent in 29 season. He's an unrestricted free agent. So they're going to have to make a deal, and this is where Ballmer is going to put pressure on Detroit to make a deal if he knows that Cade Cunningham's going to leave. And he's going to make it very rich for Cade if he comes to the Clippers, where he will have all access. It will be about him. And the Pistons will not have cap-free space to maneuver the way they would like. Ballmer would like to have Nikola Jokic and Cade Cunningham as his 1-2 punch. But who knows how that would play out? You know, that's other people's wishes is not what, you know, we saw what happened with Luka. So we'll put a pin in it and see what happens in the next 2 to 3 years when this whole thing comes full circle. Now, what we keep having here is a large supply of people interfering. Who the Clippers will give up, I don't know at this time, because I don't know what's gonna be on the table when this deal happens, or if it happens the way it is. Like, will it wait to free agency, or will they make a trade? We don't know how far this would go before this happens. This is not happening next season. This is not happening right now. This is in the future. Okay. When people talk about deals and things like that, they're talking down the line, because you have to think about it. Cade has already signed his deal. So the fact that y'all know this now is me telling y'all at the end of the season, because I didn't want to do it. And the person that told me don't do it in the middle of the Pistons season. So now that it's over, we can talk about it. Yeah, the Pistons, Cade takes 30% of the cap space right there. His contract is 30% of the cap. So for the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, the league tax is 24%. So, you know, of the money. So that's a hell of a hit. Yeah, so he's in the driver's seat because Cade is young. Cade is only 24. He's going to be 25 next year. You know, Brunson's about to be 30. Okay, this is his last gas. You know, and he ain't even been in the league that long. You know, Brunson's 30 because he went to college for like 3 years. You know, he wasn't a one and done guy. He had to go to college for like 3-4 years. You know, just to get drafted, period. So about time they could make a deal for Cade when he's making $57 million a year. That's going to be in the 2028, 2029 season. And they could really make a deal for the Pistons depending on where they are in the cap, how competitive they are at the time, or if the Pistons are going in a rebuild mode. Would Cade want to stick around for that? We don't know. So in the next 2 to 3 years, we have to see how that's going to materialize and add up. So this is what Ballmer knows. Cade has not really hit his peak prime yet. He's only 24 years old. So he's 24 and he's already better than Brunson, who's supposed to be the guy, right? And he's already better than him. So he's like, look, I get this guy in his peak years. I'll pay for that. So Ballmer is not caring about paying the money. That bread means nothing to Ballmer. He will buy Cade Cunningham because he sees him as the star that he can build the Clippers around. He will find players to play with Cade Cunningham. And if he can get Nikola Jokic, he will get both of them. Now, if the Clippers got Nikola Jokic and Cade Cunningham, he said Ballmer better mind his business. Well, that's up to Jeff Schwarz, man. I mean, Cade, that Ford motor sponsorship is huge for Cade. He just did another commercial for them. But Cade got more sponsorships than Jalen Brunson. You know, that's what I'm trying to tell people. I'm like, do y'all know Cade Cunningham is paid? Like he got a deal with Nike. He got his own signature shoe. You saw in December they launched a commercial. He's not playing around. He got the most powerful agent in the game. That's why Rich Paul couldn't touch him. And I got the lawsuit paperwork between Rich Paul and XL Sports. So they couldn't go after Cade. So he already told you what time it was. So when they was out there at the All-Star game, he was like salivating over it. Well, they did some dirty tactics to hire somebody that used to work for them, Eric Ways, and sabotage their whole structure of their negotiating secrets and everything. And Clutch was over there poaching them like they do to try to get anything they can get out of them. Well, that's what they do. No, bro, it's no cap involved. What, cap and gown? No, bro. Him downstairs. No, this is what's real about it. Dog, I've been holding on to this for about what, 3-4 months? When was the All-Star game? February? I've been knowing about this since February, dog. You see that right there? Let me go and blow this up for you so you can see it. That is the lawsuit, bro. Full speed ahead. XL Sports Management. Cade Cunningham Management Company with Jeff Schwarz versus Eric Ways and Clutch Sports Group. Eric E. Ways used to work for XL Sports Management Group, and then he went and started working with them, and they had to put a stop to that because he was over there and they illegally poached him, and he left the company and he started giving away their secrets, stealing the clients, everything. I got the whole lawsuit, breach of contract, everything, bro. I got all of it. So I ain't got to lie about Bron, and we know how dirty they are. What it says, Clutch Sports has been in sports management and marketing industry for only half as long as XL. While a competitor to XL, its current roster of talent, suites and services, operational capabilities are inferior to XL's in every respect. Damn! Clutch is inferior to XL in every respect. Rich Paul and them, y'all are inferior in every respect. I'm sorry, I thought y'all like information. I thought y'all like to actually know things. It was like, why am I listening to this crap? This is all facts. you hear me read it straight to you. I got the lawsuit, I got the paperwork. So I know this is why Rich Paul couldn't get Cade Cunningham. He couldn't. They couldn't go poach him. This is huge. He said, you must be a Knicks fan. That's what I'm saying. Just crying. Don't want to know information. Just like a Knicks fan. Now, here's how it breaks down. For those who don't understand it and don't know. The Pistons have done right by Cade. Cade loves playing for the Pistons. He loved the city of Detroit. He loved everything about what we're doing, building here. They've been building around him. Nothing has been a problem. Like everything he's asked for here, he's got. And he ain't the type that asks for a lot, bro. He's like really low brow, low key, blue collar. He don't really ask for nothing. And that's very rare. He don't really ask for nothing. He don't have no diva, nothing in him like that at all. So the thing is he's cool where he is. You know what I'm saying? He's real cool where he is. But as I told you, that guy explained to you who Jeff Schwarz is. Jeff Schwarz has billions of dollars with team. He build around the infrastructure. He don't just go after big name stars. He likes to go after like new guys who's coming in the league who got the talent, guys that's on the second string, you know what I'm saying? But they really talented and they can be marketable. He saw Cade Cunningham and said, this guy can be the one. Nikola Jokic. Like Nikola Jokic was not marketable. XL Sports made him marketable. You know, it was like, hey, this guy can play, and we'll work on everything else with him. Because really, he's just, his personality is not something that was marketable. Russell Westbrook signed with him. And he got Russ the richest deal in sports. At the time, Russ' contract was crazy, dog. No, I think they would fare a lot better if they were to make a deal. But the Pistons have other situations to worry about. Cade is already under contract. He's locked in. The Duran situation is what's going to be the big storyline between the Pistons. How they deal with the Duran situation. Because the Jalen Duran situation is going to determine what's going to happen with the cap, the space, all the money. The whole 100%. Yeah, it's a lot of changes going to be made this year. They said Jalen Duren ain't going to accept that. Who else is going to pay him that? If he wants to get more money going somewhere else, by God, let him do it. Let him go somewhere and get it. If somebody else going to pay him that kind of money, let him go. That's Jeff Schwarz, the man, the myth, the legend, right? But more importantly, let's show you once again who Jeff Schwarz is. For those of y'all who came in.
Powerful man in the NBA, yet you've probably never heard of him. Meet Jeff Schwarz. He quietly controls billions of dollars in NBA contracts and represents some of the biggest players in the league. It all starts in the early 90s when he was a young lawyer working at IMG, representing young tennis players. This is where he learned to negotiate and how to build leverage in deals. Then in 2002, he noticed the NBA was changing. They had more money coming in, the league was gaining momentum, and power was quietly shifting behind the scenes. So Jeff left IMG to start his own agency, Assur Sports Management. But here's what made Jeff different from all the other agents. He didn't just go after stars, he was trying to build a portfolio of players. He went after stars, starters, role players, bench depth, entire rosters all under one roof. And that, over time, gave him ultimate leverage. Because teams didn't just negotiate with Jeff once, they negotiate with him every offseason. And that strategy turned Assur into a giant. By 2025, Assur Sports Management was ranked the third most valuable sports agency in the world, not just in basketball, across all sports. At any moment, Assur represents $2 to $3 billion in active NBA contracts. That portfolio gives him leverage that most agents never touch. While other agents make headlines signing stars, Jeff built infrastructure, trust, volume, and long-term relationships. Now, he still has a ton of big names like Nikola Jokic, Cade Cunningham, and Russell Westbrook, but that's not where his real power comes from. His power comes from depth, from controlling entire parts of the league, not just headlines. And that's why, even without the spotlight, Jeff Schwarz might be the most powerful man in the NBA.
Everybody felt that the New York Knicks.
Now, you see what that registers, right? You see what that means and what that brings to the table as far as leverage and what they bring into the whole circle, right? The whole pot. Now, what the Pistons got with this television deal and part of this television app and going back to bringing the games locally for free will bring more eyes and ears of the public. And most of them who don't want to go out to the games, if the games is full and stuff, people watching them at home. And then if they're on the move, they could download the app. The TV20 will have an app, and then they're going to have exclusive behind the scenes stuff with the Pistons that you can get on the app and just download and just watch it. So it's just like an app for the Detroit Pistons. And I think that's cool. But the NBA don't think that's cool. So this might play into a bad situation because this cost the Detroit Pistons the Eastern Conference Finals. Like we did a video earlier today. Well, thank you, Shay. Appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Marcus. Now, oh yeah, like we said before, when you start looking at all of the details and the things that are transpiring with the league and which way they're moving with streaming, they don't care if people bouncing back and forth. They like people have been doing that anyway. But not for their sports. They don't mind juggling, looking back for a TV show. But when they want to watch a game, they don't want to. They surfing around trying to find out where the game is. Some of them it's a headache, and then some of them, you don't get the viewership till late into the game. But we don't want to get into the magnet ball element because that's only going to frustrate me. Talking about the real element that's going on that needs to be discussed is the actual problems that's ensuing with, let's say, right, when you have a bad element mixed with another bad element. You put those two things together and it calls into a riot. Now, if we sign Duren, right, our cap space, Cade takes up 30% of the cap space by himself. So if we sign Jalen Duren to this deal, that's another probably 26% of the cap space. So two players are going to take up about almost 60% of the cap space. So we only got 40% of cap space left. Good thing for us, our team is good with low contracts. Like we got Jenkins for $4 million, and we know he plays way better than $4 million. So signing him early to a $10 million deal was very smart on the Detroit Pistons. So now we're going to pick up his option for $4 million, and we got a whole season to wait to see what we're going to do with Jenkins. But then now he's going to be eligible for a real deal, and other teams can vie for him. And that's the problem when you're good. Everybody's going to want a piece. Everybody wants to be the best. They want the best players, the best team, best everything. We want it. They saw how good we played. Now they're going to want B-Ball Paul. They're going to want Jalen Green. They're going to want Tobias Harris, which we're going to probably lose this year. Now, our new general manager is my only concern for the Detroit Pistons. What's going to happen there? If you think Ballmer just writes checks, you really don't know what Ballmer does, sir. Ballmer just don't write checks. He's very much in tune with who they're bringing on their team. And Lawrence Frank, yes, Lawrence Frank is not going to be a guy that's just going to sit there and say, oh, okay, let's just bring this guy along. It don't work that way. Absolutely not, sir. Oh, no, this is serious. They definitely want Cade Cunningham. But I know Piston fans are nervous as hell, but no, he's not going nowhere this year. So relax. He's not going nowhere this year. Probably the year after that. But once his salary balloons to $57 million, it depends on where the Pistons are before deals are made and promises are broken and people start moving in a different light. Hey, I'm just trying to drop the knowledge that was dropped to me. I had to sit on this for the longest, B. T was like, man, T brought it up yesterday, like, man, what happened? And I was like, yeah, well, let me break it to T first. Because T had to hear this. Right, because Assur Thompson is going to have to get signed sooner or later. And then we're going to have to make a decision on Assur Thompson. Assur Thompson is a player you don't lose. Okay, you don't let him go no matter what. People are like, but he got to get offense. Hell no. Hell no. He won't go. You don't let him go, period. You know what? This is what the same thing they said about Dennis Rodman. When we had Dennis Rodman, they said, man, if he only had an offensive game. Dennis Rodman had an offensive game. But we didn't need him for offense. We had too many post-up players and scorers in the starting lineup. We didn't need that anymore. What we needed was somebody that could balance off the rest of it, the defense. I've never seen anybody in this NBA get through the screens he do on pick and rolls to go under the screens. I said, this dude is going under the screens and staying glued to the defender. Like, there's like no space there to do that. And he finds a way. So with Assur, they keep saying he don't shoot. Yeah, I would love to see him be more aggressive on the offensive end and have more confidence in knowing what to do in those situations. Like when he gets the ball there at the nail, he should, that comes with playing. People forget he's young too. That's what I'm saying. He's young too. He gonna have to figure it out. Dennis Rodman was a spark plug when he came in the league, but he wasn't all time like great. He was learning the game. It took him 2-3 years to really find his lane. And then as soon as he was put in the starting lineup, it was incredible. It was like a lightning bolt went off. Assur Thompson makes things happen. He changes a game. His defense, guarding 5 positions, rotating over. You don't give that away. You don't let that go because they can't shoot. Hell, there's been plenty of people out here that can't shoot. We got enough of that. Right. I don't need him I just need him to just make an offensive move. Just throw it up there, get a little hook shot or whatever. That's something Rodman could do. Rodman to throw the ball up there and get a hoop. He can get a layup. He'll go up there and dunk it on you. But he's going to be aggressive and assertive in what he does. But Rodman had to learn that. Once he figured out the game, it was easy. I don't think we need Kyrie Irving. That's a bad matchup for us. I really think who we need is John Collins. I would take John Collins on our team before anybody else. Why would I say John Collins? Because John Collins is an on-ball defender. He's long. He's one of the greatest offensive rebounding 2 guards in the league. That's the problem. People don't see the intangibles. They only think scoring. Now, I asked today in that video, what did I ask y'all? when we were talking about that Bumson, right? What did I ask y'all? I said, is he a hooper? And y'all was, what did Outlaw and all the Knicks figures? You damn right. Hell yeah, Brunson's a hooper. Derek, Franks, all of them. Hooper, baby. No doubt. And I was like, no, he isn't. A hooper is somebody like Assur Thompson. That's a hooper. That guy is going to do everything. He's going to be on ball defense. He's going to be rebounding. He's going to get you some assists. He's going to get some steals. He's going to make all those plays that you need. He don't just score the basketball. Brunson is a scorer. There's been plenty of guys like that. Their job is just score the ball. So he's not a hooper. Gilbert Arenas, scorer, non-hooper. He's not going to lock down the guy. He's not going to take the challenge. He's not going to make the play, the assist, the rebound. He's not going to go in there and do that. He's going to get you the big steal. Brunson is a Nepo baby that's being carried. We're talking about the real here. That's why it is. Why do you, okay, like I said, y'all believe Brunson is this guy, right? Why wasn't he mentioned in MVP category then if he's a winner? Why wasn't no talks about him for MVP? Didn't he have the points? He had about the same amount of points as what Shea was doing, right? He was scoring about 27. He was up there with Shea, right? Why he wasn't in the mix? Nikola Jokic, Cade, Shea, right? Luka, them four. We even heard Jaylen Brown name mentioned for MVP. No Brunson. Why? If he's that guy y'all say he is, he's Knicks Jesus, right? Because they already know what he is. It's just a score, B. That's it. That's all with him. How am I planning a narrative when it already exists? Did you not see Shea win MVP? Was Jalen Brunson ever mentioned for MVP? No. All year long, was he mentioned? No. So why y'all keep talking like he's this guy and he's not even up there? Is he going to be first team All NBA? No. Is he going to be second team All NBA? I would love to see it. Yes, Ron Mills, Cade Cunningham was mentioned for MVP. Right with Luka, right with Jokic, and right with Shea. They were arguing that Cade should get it before he broke his rib. Did your memory go bad? Yep, and we can't forget Wemby too. Wemby was in the category as well. Yes, that's because Cade was out and Luka was out. Both of them would have been in there high to the number as well. I don't see Wemby having a long, prosperous career. I see him going through a whole list of injuries. Yeah, when you got a whole list of injuries on the horizon, that takes a lot out of you. What I just mentioned is facts. I asked these dudes who was better, Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson, and these fools actually were saying Jalen Brunson. I'm like, come on, man. If Jalen Brunson is the guy, tell him to guard Spider. If he's better than Donovan Mitchell, then have him guard Donovan Mitchell. When they gotta hide you on defense, you're not that guy. They got you guarding Wade. You're not the guy, man. You're not the guy. Then these fools tried to compare Jalen Brunson to Steph Curry. Then that means Steph Curry ain't a hooper then. He's just a scorer. I'm like, no, Steph Curry is a hooper. That boy play off the ball. He don't have to be on the ball. He's not ball dominant. He plays off the ball. Steph will go in there and assist. He will do every little thing he can. Get steals. He would go get rebound if he need to. He would go in there and get the assist. Steph is a hooper. True and true. I call him Nepo baby, magnet ball boy, that the league keep pushing on you. That's what I call him. So what is Nepo baby gonna do next time? Mm-hmm. Y'all fall for that. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Y'all fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I ain't got time for it. Let me show y'all. This is Cade's contract. Okay, that's Cade Cunningham's contract. He's coming up now on his 25th. He's 25. He's going to have 50 million, 30% hit on the cap. Look at that. Apron, 50. Luxury tax, 50. 24% there. Look at it. Cash guaranteed, 96 million. Now, the next year, he's going to be 26 in 2027, 2028. It's going to be 53 million, 31% of the cap, right? 25, right? Now, in the next year, his deal is where the big jump comes in 2028, 2029. He's going to make $57 million a season. So that's 31% of the cap, right? And now they're going to be coming with a new rights deal pretty soon where everything's supposed to jump to record numbers. Now, here it is. The next year is 2029, 2030. They would have to cut a deal with Cade Cunningham or do a extension with him, or they're going to end up paying him $61 million a year. 32% hit on the cap. This is where Ballmer's going to come in at. Ballmer's going to come in here. This is where he's going to say this is going to get too expensive for the Detroit Pistons. And for him, he has endless cash, endless amount of money. So for him, he is not going to care. Now, it's a lot of factors is going to go in this because Jeff Schwarz is real good friends with Ballmer. They do real good business together. So here's the problem. It's all going to be contingent on what Cade wants to do. Is he feel like he wants to go to California and be a California star? All the agent opportunities out there for him in Cali because LeBron's going to be gone. They're going to be looking for a new star in California. The Lakers got Luka. They could have Cade. And for the Clippers, and they could have a Laker feud. It'll be huge for them. But I don't want Detroit to go to obscurity. I don't want us to fall off the map. Okay, there we go. They tried it, y'all. They doing they damnedest to sabotage this video. Yeah, Goria's got bread too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It all depends on what Cade wants to do, though. It's not going to come down to the money. Is what the point I'm trying to make is this is not about the money. Ballmer going to have that bag. But what Cade going to want at that point is he's going to want to compete. He's going to want to be like, look, are we trying to win? Some people just want to get money. You know, some people want to win. And Cade is one of those guys that want to win. He don't want to wait till he's 30 to start winning. He want to win right now. Mm-mm. No, they wanted to make sure they got the right people involved. What will Detroit get? I mean, we got to see who's on the team. But right now in the free agency, I would rather we pick up John Collins because I think we can get him for cheap. And if we lose Tobias Harris, I would like John Collins in that position. Trey Murray, yeah, a lot of people like Trey Murray and want Trey Murray on the team. But I mean, I'm still on the fence with that. No. He's not leaving Detroit. Anybody want to bet? That's good. I don't want him to leave Detroit. I'm just telling you what's real. Now you can say it ain't real or whatever, but I'm gonna tell you the discussions of wants and not wants and dislikes. I'm letting you know this is real. When I was telling y'all about Luka, y'all had the same thing. Man, are you nuts? Nobody's gonna trade Luka Doncic. Boy, you are out your mind. I'm like, the Lakers is trying to steal Luka Doncic. And 3 years later, it happened. They damn well stole him for nothing. Well, Anthony Davis and Washington, what's going to happen there? A lot of people don't think that's going to last. Now, Washington could really make a move, right? But they're Washington, B. They will find a way to screw it up. Well, Trey Murray III, he just comes from, when somebody's been losing for a while, y'all wanted us to get rid of our coach. We don't have this kind of nonsense that goes on with the Knicks and everything. They talk about firing their coach all year. We got to get rid of him. We got to fire the coach. I'm like, God damn, he just got there. And y'all want to fire Mike Brown immediately. Y'all wanted to get rid of Cat. Man, Cat just got there, and that's all they wanted to do. Now we need to trade him for Giannis. Let him go. Bridges. Oh, we got to get rid of Bridges. Everybody y'all sitting here rooting for yesterday, you talking about you don't want. So it lets you know the Knicks fans don't know what the hell is going on. Right. You can't trust their opinions, anything. They are so far gone. Trade Kawhi for Cade. No, that's not happening, bro. Kawhi is not gonna leave Cali. Just like T said, he ain't gonna leave Cali, bro. Oh hell no. No, because they sit over there and they make every excuse in the world for every other athlete. Dog, didn't y'all listen to my man tell y'all what was going on? Lawrence Frank is not just making deals by himself. But they brought in Austin Rivers to the team and they re-signed him for $40 million. Like they's like, oh, Doc did all that. Dog, when they brought Lawrence Frank in, it was other people had to make that decision. It wasn't like, oh, we're gonna do this because of Doc. He had 3 other offers on the table for the same amount of money. And nobody was doing it because of Doc. But NBA players, and that's why I say they're just as worse. NBA players is just as worse as the fans because they're nothing but like the fans. They like these YNs now. They on social media. They saying some of the dumbest shit you've ever heard in life. And it's like, dude, you play in the league. How stupid can you be? Because they weren't always in the league. They was once in school looking at stuff online and believing it. So they go around repeating the same dumb shit. Oh man, that's because his daddy got him in the league. Without his daddy, he wouldn't have got anything. I'm like, dude, they was comparing Austin Rivers to Bronny James. I'm like, boy, y'all really bumped your heads. I don't want to see Cade go nowhere. But if he stays with the Pistons, that's based on what he want to do. I know he's happy here, 100%, because the Detroit embraced him probably better than any other city in the world. Let's say he was in Cali. He would have never gotten that love if he was in Cali. The Clippers would have embraced him, but he wouldn't have had the embracement of the entire city because they had LeBron. You know, they got their Lakers and all that. So he wouldn't have had the full embrace like everybody else. Now people got to deal with the nonsense that comes along with dealing with somebody like them. Man, I could care less about any of that other extra stuff. I'm caring about what's going to happen with this Jalen Duren contract. because that's going to detail how we move going forward with everybody else. If we get Durant re-signed and locked in, then we can focus on getting other pieces that we might need for the season, for next year. People forget why they ranting and raving about the Cavs. James Harden might be gone. At the end of this year, you're going to lose James Harden and you might lose Spider too. Both of them eligible to go. So this whole Cleveland thing can get blown up as soon as the series over. Brooklyn Nets is just sitting there with a bag, waiting. They wanted Donovan Mitchell and a couple other guys, but they got draft picks and money. So anybody thinking Brooklyn ain't going to be in the mix, they'll be in the mix. The East was better than the West. That's what I was trying to tell people before. The East is better than the West. Stop playing. There's only, look, how many good teams there was in the West? 2. There were 2 good teams in the West. San Antonio and OKC. Everybody else was 500 and beatable. Houston, Denver, Minnesota. Are you kidding me? Everybody else in the East was dog walking them. There was only 2 teams in the West this year. The top teams in the East, Boston, Detroit. They had the Knicks up there. They had the Cavs up there. Look at the wins and compare them to the West. They got teams that wasn't even down near 500 going to the playoffs. I mean, Orlando was tough. Charlotte came into their own this year. They were owning the West. Everybody was dog walking the West and from the East. The East is popping. The West got too many glorified babies over there. Oh, if Cade didn't have that broken rib, you would have saw a lot different. You would have saw a lot more from Cade. A lot of Cade's explosion had to change due to the fact he had a broken rib. That's why he had on that protective vest. It wasn't because of his lungs. When dude hit him, it broke his rib and it punctured his lung, which caused the collapse. I know the leading scorer in the playoffs, who was averaging 30 points a game, was wearing a damn flap jacket with a broken rib and putting up 30. And people don't even realize he's way faster than that. His explosion towards the rim that you've been seeing all season, he's way more faster than what you saw in the playoffs. That was him at half speed. He was playing at half speed. That's what people don't realize. You didn't see the full Cade Cunningham in the playoffs. He was playing at half speed. You know how explosive he is? Dog, do you know how many times he would have dunked the ball that he was laying it up in this series because of the broken rib? And then he's wearing that flak jacket. And then all this playing him 48 minutes. I'm like, dude, it's like a candle. Like I told you, you burning the candle and it's not going to go all the way back up to the top. You're going to keep burning the candle until that's it. We can't go no further. You keep playing all those minutes in these short periods of time. We ain't got all these days to recuperate. I mean, some of that stuff was just ridiculous. We were in control of the game and everything. He bringing Cade back in. It's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm still mad over that. Like, dude, trust your team. We had a good thing rolling, man. I'm like, I ain't seen Green since he gave up 2 layups that time. And I was like, dude, that wasn't even really his fault. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but you benched him for the rest of the NBA playoffs. I just don't like to get done in by politics, you know? Well, you know, when fatigue hit in too, you know, he was tired. You playing him all those minutes, that just make me more mad at JB for doing that. But I told the Patreons what was going on with Luka about how they didn't want to pay Luka the money. I mean, not Luka, but about JJ Redick. And Luka right now was like, I don't know if I want to bring him back. And now that Jason Kidd is available, I don't know if he sit out this year, but if JJ get fired, Kidd will be the one to come in and take his job. Because that was who they were supposed to get before, was Jason Kidd. He said, wait, I missed that. Jason Kidd got fired. Yeah, Kidd got fired last night while we were talking. I had said it in the chat. Y'all must have said it. I was like, yep, and Kidd gone. Yeah, because Masai Ujiri fired him because he said we need a fresh start. You know, that's not really his guy. Masai Ujiri, you know, he likes to have his guys in there. Jason Kidd is not his guy. So he's like, all right, let's start off right now with Jason Kidd. Yeah, well, I don't work well with him. Let's get somebody in here I can work with. So kid was gonna be out. Oh yeah. No, bro. It ain't never gonna go like that because all of the problems that they put in place to try to block everything. This is the reason why they do it. NBA free agents? Is that what you mean? Um, if the Pistons sign LeBron James, I would laugh my ass off. I would laugh my ass off. No, we got Levert. We signed Levert to a 2-year deal. So we got him next year. We got a 2-year, $29 million deal. So we signed him already. So we got Levert for a whole nother year. So it's after next year we're gonna really run into complications with money. Other than that, the Pistons are straight. What you talking about? Oh, Dorian Finney-Smith, he the one that for fleeced the damn Rockets with the damn 4-year deal for $53 million. I'm like, that's crazy. The biggest fleece is Miles Turner. 4 years, 108. Ain't no damn way. And he giving you 11 points a game? Oh hell no. You can't blame Giannis because Giannis wasn't even there, and this dude putting up 11 points a game. And they talking about we needed to get Miles Turner. I'm like, shit. They was like, what if the Pistons got LeBron? You'll be rooting in, I'll be hell no. The Brooklyn Nets have the most space right now on the team. I'm sorry, no, the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls have 70 million in cap space to play with. The Nets got 40 million. Jazz got 27, right along with the Grizzlies. The Hornets got 15. Mavs got 15 million in cap space to play with. Lakers got 60 million. So they right behind the Bulls. The Atlanta Hawks got $30 million. But that's if they lose CJ and Kuminga. Then they'll be at $30 million, but all of it's contingent. Now the Lakers' money is going to be absorbed. What happens with Austin Reeves? Man, we don't need no goddamn Austin Reeves on the team. Who told you that? Who told you that? Who the hell want Austin Reeves out there running around? I know I don't. He's the top. Man, no, he's Lakers choice to see what they want to do. That's their situation. I didn't talk to his agent. The whole nine. No, getting Duran taken care of, that situation is imperative. I don't want to lose a guy that's 22 years old. No. And y'all talking about losing. Losing for who? First of all, Jalen Duran was playing hurt through the playoffs. He couldn't really, his ankle and his knee was bothering him. He couldn't really get the elevation that he had earlier in the season. See, playing this long in the season, you got to get prepared for it. But they're young, so they were able to play through a lot of injuries. Like Beef Stew got hurt, re-injured himself in the Orlando series, and didn't quite have an impact in the Cavs series. You know it. A lot of people are looking at Peyton Watson from Denver. I think he's a good piece, but I think he's just too expensive for us. But if we can get Peyton Watson or somebody like that, but he's a decent defender, good scorer. He can shoot the three, he can space it out. Now, if we get Peyton Watson, that's a good addition. I would not be sad with that. But I'm looking at the money, and Trae Young is up for, does he stay with Washington? Does he leave? Oh, yeah, 100%. If he stay or do he go? Do I stay or do I go? Now, Ayo, who's a free agent, I think he re-signs with Minnesota. That breakout game where he put up 40, Ayo's my guy from Morgan Park. Appreciate him a lot. He's a great defender, on-ball defender. He worked on his three-point shooting and him getting the score, different spacing and driving the lane. He's improved that tremendously. Well, here's the thing. CJ McCollum is going to, if the Pistons can get CJ McCollum, we'll show you what to do with CJ. But all right, if we get him for a year, I'm cool with getting CJ because CJ ain't gonna have much to do. He got way better players with Cade, and we got another guy that can handle the ball and score and transition. We know he can get a bucket. But we ain't gotta pay him no crazy bread. See, I'm about keeping the bread down. That's what the Pistons about, getting value for the dollar. Like, we got people performing for the low. And he's a shooter. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to respect it. Now, that takes so much pressure off Cade. Well, do I think we get him? No. Because I think the money, like CJ really played himself into a deal. They was talking about, Golden State re-signed Porzingis. I'm like, I don't know, because Porzingis, he's on his last leg. He ain't gonna play any real defense. Right. How many more do they have to do or go through? It's like everybody's against Detroit. We get it. Like, honestly, we do. We understand it. Yeah, so many people against us. We just understand that shit. No surprise. They don't even want to hate us. They want to like us so bad, but it's just like the NBA has taught you to hate us. Even how great we are, they still want y'all to hate us. We just got to be the villains. It's like, villains? We play basketball, dog. Ain't no villains out here. If the Pistons could get Harkenstein, oh, it's over. We get Durant and Harkenstein, oh, it's over. Y'all might as well wrap the championship up in a bow. I just think it's going to be too much money. If we lose Tobias Harris and get Harkenstein, we good. Dude, Hart do so much other intangibles. That's why most fans, man, they just look at the stat sheet and they judge basketball games off that. That stat sheet just give you a quick summary of what they had in the game. They don't even tell you what they did in the game. There's plenty of people that had 20-something points and they played like shit the entire game. You know, that's something that people need to understand. They got to get off the stat sheet. You're like, dude, he had 24 though. I mean, what does that mean? Like, so what? He got 24. They lost by 34. Yeah, I know, man. It's like one of them things. I think Norman Powell is a good player if he can stay healthy. But these are the players that's going to be looking for some money. You know, like, I'm just like, he should just stay with Miami. It'd be cheaper to keep him. I don't see him leaving Miami. No, not even close. No. Man, if we sign DeAndre Ayton, I'll be pissed. I don't want DeAndre Ayton in the Little Caesars Arena. I don't want him nowhere near anything. No, not really. Yeah, maybe one day, but not this day. Yeah, well, if you understand it, then you could deal with it. A lot of people couldn't deal with it. So that's just the case. But I'm going to get out of here because my mom's calling. See what mom's want. Hello? Well, yeah, I was doing something. But what's up? I'm ending it now. So go ahead.